Have you ever wondered why you make choices that hurt you later? You know you should save money, but you buy something expensive instead. You know you should practice English for 20 minutes, but you watch 2 hours of television instead. Why do we constantly choose comfort today, even when we know it makes life harder for us tomorrow? It feels like there are 2 different people living inside your brain. One who wants to have fun right now and one who wants to be successful later. The problem isn't that you are lazy. The problem is that you haven't met the most important person in your life yet. Today, we are going to change that. Hello, everyone. Today, we are going to dive deep into a concept that will not only change how you learn English, but how you live your life. We are exploring the powerful ideas found in the book Your Future Self by Hal Hershfield. We are going to use the lessons from this book to answer a critical question. How can you become the person you dream of being, whether that means speaking fluent English, having a healthier body, or having more money in the bank? We're going to look at this through the lens of language learning, but these rules apply to everything. Let's start with the first major concept, meeting your future self. When we talk about your future self, we are talking about you in 1 year, 5 years, or even 20 years. It's still you, but a version of you that has lived through more time. Now, logically, we know this person exists, but emotionally, that's a different story. Inside your mind, there is a battle happening right now. It's a battle between your present self and your future self. Your present self is the person listening to me right now. This version of you is obsessed with the now. The present self wants to feel good immediately. It wants to rest. It wants to be entertained. It hates waiting. Your future self, however, wants different things. Your future self wants health. It wants stability. It wants to speak English fluently and confidently. The conflict arises because these 2 versions of you rarely agree. Your present self says, "I am tired. I will just scroll on social media." Your future self says, "Please study so that in 2 years we can get that better job." Hal Hershfield, the author of the book, explains something fascinating about the human brain. For many of us, the future self feels like a stranger. When you think about yourself in 10 years, your brain lights up in the same way it does when you think about a person you don't know, like a celebrity or a stranger on the bus. Because this future person feels like a stranger, we don't feel responsible for them. Why would you sacrifice your comfort today for a stranger you've never met? This is why we skip our habits. This is why we quit. We choose the immediate reward because the future feels like a foggy dream that isn't real. But here is the truth. The future is real, and one day you will wake up and be that person. So how do we fix this disconnection? We have to engage in what psychologists call mental time travel. This doesn't mean we need a time machine. It means we need to use our imagination to make the future vivid. Vivid is a great word. It means clear, bright, and detailed. Most people have a blurry vision of the future. They think, "I want to be good at English." That is too vague. That is too blurry. To truly connect with your future self, you need a high-definition picture. You need to close your eyes and ask, who will I be in 5 years if I keep going? Imagine yourself standing in a room. What are you wearing? How do you stand? How does your voice sound? Imagine yourself speaking English not with fear, but with calm confidence. Imagine making a small mistake, correcting it effortlessly, and continuing to speak without panic. When you create this vivid image, you stop looking at your future self as a concept and start seeing them as a real person. And this leads us to a concept that is often discussed in videos regarding the psychology of your future self. When the future feels real, your behavior changes today. Let's move on to the second pillar of this philosophy, the long game and delayed gratification. We live in a world of instant speed. We want same-day delivery, instant downloads, and fast results. But fluency is not an instant download.
Fluency is a result of the long game. Playing the long game means making decisions based on a long timeline, not just what feels good in the next 5 minutes. To play the long game, you must master delayed gratification.
Gratification means pleasure or satisfaction. Delayed means waiting. So delayed gratification is the ability to ignore a small reward now to get a massive reward later. Your present self wants the small reward, watching a funny video in your native language. It's easy, it's comfortable. Your future self wants the massive reward, being able to travel the world and communicate with anyone. The gap between these two things is patience. Many English learners fail because they treat language learning like a sprint. They study for 5 hours one day, get exhausted, see no instant change, and then quit. They lack the understanding of compound interest. In finance, compound interest is when your money makes money. In learning, it works the same way. One new word today seems small. One sentence practiced out loud seems insignificant, but these small actions accumulate. To accumulate means to gather or stack up over time. If you learn one phrase a day, in a year you have hundreds. If you listen for 10 minutes a day, in a year you have listened for dozens of hours. This is the math of the long game. It is slow, but it is unstoppable. If you mistakenly think that you are bad at English just because you aren't fluent yet, you are judging yourself based on the short game. The long game is flexible. If you miss one day, it doesn't destroy your progress, you just get back on the path the next day. Now let's explore the third and perhaps most emotional part of this journey, future self continuity. Continuity means an unbroken connection. It means realizing that the you of today and the you of tomorrow are the exact same person. The author's research shows a very simple truth. People who feel a high level of continuity with their future self make better life choices. They save more money. They exercise more. They study consistently. Why? Because they realize that they are building the house that they will have to live in. If you ignore your English studies today, you are not hurting a stranger. You are hurting you. You are making life difficult for the version of you that has to give a presentation next month. You are sabotaging the version of you that needs to pass an interview next year. To build this continuity, we need to treat our future self with kindness and compassion. Think about your best friend. If your best friend was tired and needed help, would you ignore them? No, you would help them. You need to treat your future self like your best friend. When you sit down to study for just 10 minutes, you are sending a gift to your future self. You are saying, I know you will be tired later, so I am going to learn this vocabulary now to make your life easier. This shifts your motivation. You are no longer studying because you have to or because a teacher told you to. You are studying as an act of self-care. We can strengthen this connection through 3 simple tools: imagination, kindness, and action. We have talked about imagination, seeing the future clearly. We have talked about kindness, treating your future self like a friend. Now, let's talk about action, specifically micro-progress. Micro means very small. Often, we get paralyzed because the distance between where we are and where we want to be feels huge. You might look at a native speaker and think, I will never be that good. This distance kills motivation. But if you focus on micro-progress, the fear disappears. Micro-progress is reading one paragraph. It is listening to one song in English. It is repeating one sentence until it sounds perfect. These tiny steps are easy to do. They don't create stress, but they keep the connection to your future alive. The author mentions a study where people looked at digitally aged photos of themselves, photos where they looked 60 or 70 years old. When people saw these photos, they suddenly wanted to save more money for retirement. Why? Because the reality hit them. That old person is me. You can do a similar exercise.
Imagine yourself in a situation where you need English. Maybe you are at an airport and your flight is canceled. You need to speak to the agent to get home. Imagine the present you didn't study. You are panicked. You are confused. You feel helpless. Now imagine the future you who prepared. You walk up to the counter. You speak calmly. You understand the answer. You solve the problem. How does that feel? That feeling of pride, of capability, that is available to you, but you have to buy it today with your actions. So, as we wrap up this exploration of your future self, I want you to remember that you are a time traveler. Every decision you make is a vote for who you are going to be. Don't let your present self bully your future self. Don't let the desire for immediate comfort steal your future success. The next time you feel like skipping your practice, close your eyes. Visualize that version of you 5 years from now. They are waiting for you, they are cheering for you, and they are hoping you make the right choice today so that they can live a better life tomorrow. The journey to fluency is not about magic. It is about connecting with who you want to become and taking small, kind steps toward that person every single day. Thank you for spending this time with me. If you found value in this deep dive, please take a moment to support the channel. It really helps us grow and reach more learners like you. Please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to English Glow. I'll see you in the next video.